Alright guys, the highlights from our live trading chat room at GreatStockPicks.com. I posted this chart last night on StockTwits showing INVN. You had this nice pop here, flagging. So it looked pretty good, right? Now look at the daily, what happened after today. And there it is. It doesn't look so great anymore. However, this, even though you had the reversal and you have the topping tail now, or the failed breakout, whatever you want to call it, this was one of my best trades of the day. And I'll show you why. If you watch any of our videos, you already know that I'm not a big fan of trading in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes because things can whip around. However, in the current market, a lot of early trades are working, and so I'm making exceptions. And INVN met those exceptions. I already knew I liked the daily chart, okay? And then this is the opening 2-minute candle. Look at the volume. This is why I went ahead with the call for the chat room. Massive volume in the, I mean, almost a couple 100,000 shares in the first 2 minutes. Nothing skillful here about the entry. I literally called it right here. I think actually it was at 1520 when I called it. I call that my morning smash and grab play. It's something that I like the daily, and I'm getting volume, and it hasn't moved too far. I'm just going to dive right in. So the call was at 1520, and the worst case stop, you always have to have a stop, was at the low of the day, okay, which was, I can't really tell here, 1502. So 18 cents risk, and look what happens. It bases for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, boom. Now, when it does this, I'm not looking to add, okay? I know I've taken an early trade, and I'm getting this crazy move. So within about 3 minutes after it broke the high of the day, it was up here in the 1590s. And I'm literally just clicking sell, sell, selling in parts as it goes. I don't know what my highest sell was. It might have been close to 1590. But had a ton of people in chat make a bunch of money on that one, got a whole bunch of thank yous. So nothing too tricky about it other than, hey, I had it on watch, and you can see what it did. It did this nasty reversal and ends up closing near the lows. Nothing pretty, but this move right here literally made a bunch of made my day, and I think a bunch of other people's in the chat room as well. A couple other calls from the day. Avon, AVP, nice volume and in breakout territory. I'll show you the daily here. So it was gapping up above all this trading and had massive volume at the open. One of our members, one of our all-stars from Belgium, Stephen B., he went ahead and called this over this green candle for the room because, you had consecutive lower highs, basically a flag pattern. So the entry idea, 1939, 1906 stop, and it was off to the races. And, this might not look like much, but from 1939... this moved $1.93 in our favor on 33 cents risk. So an excellent call by Stephen B. and a lot of people thanking him as well. And then RYL, I actually made a call during lunch here. RYL, home builders were crazy strong, and they weren't even coming down and touching the 8-period moving average on 5s. So then when I got this one push down, this green line is something I've made a video about. This is when it really captures my attention. A really strong stock gets to this green line. I went ahead and called this long at 38.86. If it broke this candle's high, there's the entry. Worst case stop was 12 cents below, and it gets through the high of the day and moves up from 38.86 to 39. Look at this, 39.75. Almost $1 move, 89-cent move on 12 cents risk. So that was another nice trade there. And then I had a couple things that small flat trades. Let me look at my notes here and see what else I called. PCS, I called early that the high of day break might work, which was just, 10.11 or 10.12, and it only went to 10.19 or something like that. But that one still paid. Oh, yeah, NUAN. I called early on. First, let me show you the daily. Starting a swing in this, by the way, today. But early on, you had 2 days down in a row, and then it was selling off at the open again. So this was worth it to me. I'll have to zoom in here. You had, you were selling off on 5. Oftentimes, when you have a stock that's beaten up like that, and then you get an early sell-off on the third day, you can get a nice reversal. So I called it over this red candle, 1941, with a stop at 1934. Even though this didn't work, this isn't even an errant tick. It actually went up a quick dime, and then I thought we were going to get through the high of the day and maybe squeeze a bit, but it ended up failing. And I was messing with, in my own trading, I was messing with INVN, and so I went ahead and took the full stop out. But again, it was only 41 to 34. It was only 7 cents risk, but I did stop out on that one. And let me pan out here. And this one, is getting interesting for a bounce. It'll be back on Bounce Watch tomorrow, and I started a swing in it today in my IRA. When I do that, I nibble, and then if it keeps going down, I get a little bigger each time. So, but that's totally different than how I day trade. Couple trades in PAY on this big sell-off here. And I don't think I had a red trade in pay. I made it, but it never did give me the bounce I was looking for. So I'm not even sure where I called them, but I made a couple sandwiches on pay on that, trying to catch a reversal on the sell-off. Oh yeah, TiVo. TiVo, I called when it looked like this. You kind of had a flag on an intraday, and you had a flag if you can on the daily. Okay, you had this nice volume move, and you were getting kind of tighter and tighter. And so you can see what happened there. I called it if it got over this red candle's high, 1321, I think, 1322, 1323, something like that, with a dime stop. And it got through the high of the day, held the stop, got through the high of the day again, and then look what happens. It does this. So some news affected it. Certainly a nice bounce, and maybe TiVo deserves to be on watch still. Get that line off there, but certainly didn't move for us today. Otherwise, I think it was mostly flat trades, small gains, but between INVN, RYL, and Avon AVP had a really nice day, despite the the boring action in the SPY. If you look at the SPY here, the candle for the daily SPY almost looks like a little drop of paint. So a very narrow range today. All right, I babbled long enough. We'll see you guys tomorrow.